Hi, I'm Tori Purcell. I'm here with Jamila Winder, who's running for the school board position. Hi, Jamila. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Great.
So our first question here is, what does being on the school board entail?
Sure. It entails a number of things, and I think one of the most important pieces of being a school board member is putting the students first. And so everything that we'll do as a team reflects our students and their success. So things like adopting a budget and managing that budget, certainly evaluating the superintendent and how successful he or she is. We also are responsible for adopting vision, goals for the district, and really adopting policies to ensure that the school hits those goals and sets priorities. So we have a number of responsibilities, but those are just some of them.
Awesome. So what's the platform that you're campaigning with, and how can people find out more information about it?
Sure. So I am an avid Facebook user, so people can follow me on Facebook at Jamila for School Board. And really, my platform is I'm a product of the district. And so I want to ensure that everything that we do as school board members helps our students achieve nothing short of excellence. And so I'm really focusing on things like college and career readiness. I'm focusing on areas such as cultural competence, since we have such a diverse population of students, and really bringing those conversations to the board and how we make decisions as it relates to the school district.
Right. And how do you feel that these issues cause a significant problem in our district?
They're not issues per se, but I think it's important to bring things to light, such as college and career readiness, because we want to ensure that we focus on student success early on, and we're talking about things like college and careers early on, so that when students leave the district, they are making an impact on our economy, making an impact in our communities, and we want to ensure that products of the Norristown Area School District are prepared to go to college, to prepare for careers in trade. So I think it's really not an issue per se, it's more so something that's important to ensure our students' success and how they contribute to society. As it relates to cultural competence and diversity, I think we just really need to understand the diverse student population that we have here and how students learn from those diverse populations. So again, it's about serving the needs of our diverse population of students, and how do we implement programs, assess our curriculum to ensure that all students' needs are met.
Absolutely. So it seems to me that your major concern here is that kids need to be college prepared. So what kind of plan would you put in action to ensure that that happens here?
Yeah, so, I was spending a lot of time, talking to teachers, administrators. My mother was a guidance counselor in the Philadelphia Public Schools. So as you can imagine, college readiness is in my blood. And I also work in higher education. And so that's why I'm certainly passionate about it. So, I think there's an opportunity, and I know the guidance counselors here do a number of things to ensure kids are ready for college. But for me, it's about starting early, starting kids thinking about college earlier. I know when I was a kid, I spent a lot of time at Penn State, Philadelphia Community College, doing summer programs. So I think it's about creating awareness. And then, leveraging my voice on the board to ensure that some of our programming and funding is available to support, some of the things that we need to be doing early and often. So getting colleges, in. I remember when I was in high school, college fairs, college visits, all of those things are important to me, and I want to make sure that those things are consistent and that they're happening.
Great, fantastic. So what qualifications do you have that make you capable for the job?
Sure. So first of all, I'm a product of the district and really proud of being a product of the district. And so starting early on when I was in high school, I was a student representative on the Norristown Area School Board. And so my passion for education started at a very young age. As I mentioned before, my mother was a guidance counselor in the Philadelphia school system. My grandmother was Pennsylvania State Teacher of the Year in 1972. And so It started early, it's in my DNA, but more importantly, I've spent the last 15 years in a variety of leadership roles in higher education. So I worked for Drexel University for 10 years, and now I'm working for Walden University. And so I feel like my experience in education is of value. I also believe that my work in higher education, I've spent a lot of time working with the nation's largest school districts to support the professional development needs of teachers. And so I also have that perspective. And lastly, the budget piece, right?
Yeah.
You know, budget is such a critical topic here. And so for me, I've had experience managing multi-million-dollar budgets in various roles that I've had over my 15-year career. And so I recognize the value and the importance of fiscal responsibility coupled with student achievement. So those are some reasons why I think I'm qualified for the job.
Great. So being an alumni of Norristown, how do you feel this gives you an advantage?
So being an alumni of the school district and being a success story, if you can let me get away with saying that, I believe in this school district, and you know, my father works here as security personnel. My mother's substitute teach here over the last couple of years, and so the advantage is that I've been here. I went to Paul Fly, I went to East Narton Middle School. I still talk to some of my teachers. You know, I have a father that's still actively involved in the high school. And I have family and friends that are sending their school kids to the district. And so I have a wide range of perspectives. And the fact that I believe in this school district and the things that we can do for our kids and what they can achieve after they leave us, I feel as though I have that perspective being a product of the district.
That's really great. So do you see yourself primarily as a representative of the community or as a representative of the school system?
So, you know, I really am doing this to give back to the community, to bring to make that, bridge that gap between, you know, the school district, the school board, and the community. So there's a wide range of constituents that are critical to the success of the school district. So I believe that I'm a voice for the community, and I've been spending a lot of time getting out there, talking to the community, talking about what's going well with the district, what they'd like to see change. So, the school system is a critical part of the community. So I look at my position, and I take my position very seriously, to really be the voice for the community and for those that may not be heard, and making sure that, you know, I'm visible when it relates to the school district, the board, and I'm also bringing that community perspective to the table.
Okay. So how will you balance between your own major concerns and the input of the students and parents?
Sure. So I'm all about the facts, and you know, as I've been out there talking to people, you know, various people have differing opinions on, you know, what I should be doing as a school board member, how the district is performing. And for me, it will be a balance of just hearing all perspectives and not making decisions based on feelings or emotions, but really making decisions based on the real facts. And then being able to educate our students, our administrators, our teachers, the community on what's really happening in the school district versus people's perceptions or rumors about what's really happening. So really just keeping that balance of the facts and ensuring that all voices are heard in this process.
So do you feel like our line of communication needs to be more open between the school board and the community?
You know, that's not really fair for me to necessarily assess at this point. I know that, you know, when you go to board meetings, you know, the community presence, there's an opportunity to increase the community's presence. And I know the board has done a number of things over the years to encourage the community to get out, share what's working, what's not working. And so I just want to continue to, you know, assess how we're communicating with the community and ensure that there's forums and that there's an outlet for people in the community to share concerns.
Absolutely. So technology has become a norm in many other school districts, while Norristown has had a slow start. How important do you think technology is to a classroom, and how would you implement it here?
Sure. So I was just telling you that, I'm not the most technical person, right?
Right.
But technology is the future, and technology will pave the way for a lot of, how we do things moving forward. So although from what you're saying, Norristown's a little bit slower than maybe some other school districts, I think there's an opportunity to look at the budget, look at the technological needs of the district, and then figuring out how do we catch up, if that in fact is something that we need to be doing, so that we are in line with what some other districts are doing to bring technology into the fold and making sure it's a focus. I always have this discussion with my parents, right, who I've helped them with their technology needs, but
Right.
It's everywhere. We have to ensure that our students understand technology and its importance in not only their schooling, but also when they get out into the workforce. So I think it's important that that's a key priority for Norristown Area School District.
Absolutely. And as the country switches from a public school endorsed administration to a more privatized one, what challenges do you foresee our school facing, and what steps will you take to ensure the proper education for the students of Norristown Area School District?
Sure. So that's a hot topic, right? And at both a national level and a local level. And what I would say is, every parent has, a decision to make about their child's education. And the public education system and its funding is in jeopardy, right, with our new administration. And so we need to find ways to ensure parents believe in our district, they believe in the brand, and they believe in, if I send my children to Norristown Area School District, they're going to have the best education. I also believe that parents do have a right to choose. And some students are not always cut out for the public education system. But we want to ensure that we keep as many students here in the district, and we show the success stories, and we get more of our graduates coming back and talking about what worked for them and what are they doing now to ensure that parents really believe in the type of education that their children will get. So for me, I believe in public education. I'm a product of public education. My family believes in public education, but we really just have to ensure that people believe in Norristown Area School District the same way that I do.
Okay, absolutely. So is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I would just like to add the importance of knowing who I am. As I mentioned before, education is in my DNA, and I'm doing this to give back to the community. I'm not your classic politician. I've never been in politics before, but I've been immersed in education since I was a child. And so it's just important as people are learning more about me that they know that, and that I made this decision because it had been on my heart for a very long time, and I felt as though this was the appropriate time to do it.
Absolutely. What drove you to run here at Norristown?
To run for school board? Well, like I said, it had been on my heart for a while. Like I said before, I was a school district representative over when I was in high school, and I have a number of people that have sat on the school board that encouraged me. And so I want to be a change in the community, and I've been doing a lot of work with Big Brothers Big Sisters. My little, she's not so little anymore. She's a Norristown Area High School senior, and I've been doing some work through my job, and I thought it was the appropriate time for me to run for school board and bring a fresh perspective to the existing board.
Awesome. So what do you feel you bring to the position?
So I believe I bring passion. I believe I bring integrity. I believe I bring the ability to hear all sides and all perspectives. And I bring experience. Like I said earlier, I believe that my experience, had I done this 10 years ago, it probably wouldn't have been the appropriate time, but I feel like, I have the professional maturity, the personal experience to bring a perspective that is meaningful to the board, and I think I'll complement the existing board members.
Okay. So what do you feel here at Norristown is our biggest downfall?
Gosh, I think our biggest downfall from my perspective, and this is solely my perspective, is the brand that Norristown Area School District. I think there are a lot of misperceptions about Norristown Area School District and how successful kids can be by coming here. And so I know, because I have a lot of success stories by way of family and friends of kids that have gone through the district and have done well. But I've also heard stories about people who've had challenges with the district. So I think we really have an opportunity to change the brand by sharing with the community all the things that are going well, like being here, looking at this communication program that Mr. Doyle has had for a long time.
Right.
These are the things that the community needs to know about. And how do we quell, everywhere you go, every school district has issues, right? But I think for Norristown, it's important for us to continue to talk about what's going well and to spread that good word out into the community to really change that perception.
Okay. So what do you think our biggest success here is at Norristown?
Oh, wow. So the programming, as we were talking about earlier, I was in the orchestra, I ran track. I think having that well-rounded education is important, and we need to ensure that the budget implications that so many people are concerned about, that those programs don't get cut. So I think, so I think our extracurricular activities, ensuring that our kids are well-rounded, and also the teachers. I have teachers that I went, had when I was in Paul Fly, East Norton Middle School, that are still here, contributing to the district. And so I think as we talk about brand, those are the things that we need to talk about. We have great educators, we have great programming, we have great students, right, that are going to be impacting the community and our society as a whole. And those are the things that I really think are going well.
Awesome. So how is the best way for people to contact you?
Sure. So I am on Facebook, so they can reach me at Jamila for School Board on Facebook. So I have a number of followers there where I'm posting updates, talking about the things that I believe in. And certainly they can reach me by phone and by email. So my email is jamilaforschoolboard@gmail.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Thank you. I'm Tori Purcell here with Jamila Winder to talk about the open school board candidate position. Now back to People Side.